From the devil got you piping hot. This up and you get screwed and chopped, no Michael Watts. When I was 10, I knew I should have been on Rap a Lot. Think like Jay Prince and I do more than just rap a lot. I went and got my digits up. Your favorite, bruh. You don't want no trouble, cuz. The 25th, I got a meeting with the governor. That's real Rap a Lot, no cap a lot. I used to from Farron down to Camelot. I used to whip up in my granny's pot. She asked my friends, was I? They said, nope, he not. The line to a praying woman. The truth's a heavy burden and it's weighing on me. Red Doggies caught me slipping with the wailing on me. I went to calling out for Jesus like a reverend on me. Chalked it up to sin, took it on my chin. Gotta take some L's if you wanna win. They took a but didn't take a sin. I didn't even have no re-up I could re-up with. Had to rob another just to re-up. Pray to God that in his heart he found forgiveness for me. It was nothing personal, it was just business for me. When I got on, I paid him back and told him it was ugly. I'd rather ask forgiveness like 100 times than be asking for permission in a beggar's line. Cause of who I be and check out how I tend to mine. I got a partner who don't eat no pork at dinner time, but let you act like you gon' ever hurt or injure mine. He have your woman and that's by dinner time. I keep my eyes on glory till the devil get behind. Now bear in mind the devil made me offers I decline. We not aligned, not combined, I am not confined.
This is playoff football in Chicago. The cold, the wind, the snow, and these Bear fans wouldn't have it any other way here inside historic Soldier Field. Tonight we continue with Wild Card Weekend with what should be a great one between the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Here's Fields. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. And we'll see if that pick six looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 47. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. That catch good for only a couple.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's taken down inside the 30.
So great throw right there, and what a regular season this rookie had, piloting this offense, guiding them to a division title, and they get the home date here in round 1 of the playoffs. But Charles, how do you think they'll play it here? Will they run the same kind of wide open offense they've run all season, or do you think that they'll try and take some pressure off of the young fella?
Oh, I think they're going high, wide, and handsome in this one. I think it's all out, just as they've been doing all year long, because I think if you try and pull it back now a little bit, you're telling that young man you don't have quite as much confidence in him as you've professed. So go ahead and continue to run your offense. Do the things that got you here. As so many defensive coaches have told you and me, all gas, no brakes. Let it rip.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play, the run after catch? But most of the time,
got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Odell Beckham there to make the grab. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. A first down run from Barkley, pretty well defended. Give him 3 yards on the play.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 29, Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Now Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Always so many storylines when you're playing January football. And, Charles, you talk about this offense, their head coach, it's his first time in charge in the playoffs. And I think you and I were both kind of surprised by his demeanor and specifically his comments and his confidence at the press conference where he really all but guaranteed a victory.
Yeah, I was a little bit taken aback because you don't normally see that. And on one hand, it's like, all right, cool. He feels great about his team. But on the other hand, I don't think it's in his best interest to do that. How many playoff games has he won again, Brandon?
None.
So there's your answer right there. I guess what he was trying to do was fire up his team, but he has to make sure he doesn't fire up the other guys because there have been a lot of coaches who've made guarantees that are no longer coaching in this league.
Throwing Jones.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively at second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10. Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Back to throw again. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Meanwhile, here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Open man right side is Ingram. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On second down, here's Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Jones. Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And that is no good. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Cohen gets it again on second. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They snap it to Fields. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And a quick shuffle pass here is complete.
You know they pay me.
Touchdown, Giants! Evan Ingram, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Gano for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Now Damian Williams to return it. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw is Fields. That's complete to Mooney. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now a 1st down throw, Fields. And his throw here is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Off play action, Fields. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And Hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Going deep downfield for Ross.
Got
a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown.
And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
Gano now to add the extra point. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Williams now on the return.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
It's almost human nature, isn't it? They score on one play. You come out on offense, you try and do exactly the same thing. They tried the deep ball, couldn't quite connect, but give them an A for effort.
Man open is Robinson. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
We own them. Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. Tackles. Check.
On first down, Fields.
Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Logan Ryan.
And the Giants are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work to run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. quick throw now complete to Ross. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A first down carry for Barkley. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
On 3rd down, Jones. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half. Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
The Tuck roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Was that 82?
That was 82. And the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Allen Robinson there to make the grab. And the Bears draw a bit closer. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter.
Barkley, a first down and more, and all the way up to the 45-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From just shy of midfield, Jones steps away. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side.
Well, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cohen. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
The tackle by O'Shane Simmons. A 1-yard gain brings up 3rd and 6.
One quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Play action. It's Fields.
Caught out left side by Robinson.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
On play action, Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Fields. This one swung out to Williams.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st down, it's Fields.
It's caught outright by Graham. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders. And they're rolling.
Now Fields.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Throwing again is Fields. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Allen Robinson. His second touchdown of the night. And the Bears are an extra point away from taking the lead in this game. And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed. And in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Looking into the snowflakes, and he muffs it. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the fourth as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. Second and 4. Looking to throw. Jones. Forced out to his left. Right back to Tony. He's got another one. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. So he rolls out of the pocket left, just ends up finding a safety valve, but no gain there.
No gain, but looked like they were well coached on the play because he still went through his progressions, and the receivers know that when the quarterback exits the pocket, they have defined routes to run now to get into his sight lines and try and help him out. End up throwing it short to the running back. Give the defense credit for not giving up any yardage.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Trucks over him. 69 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap up tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he will be brought down, but a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley punching it in from a yard away. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done. Jones throwing for it.
Rolling to his right. And he's
He's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth-quarter lead. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a two-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the two, or I should say third and goal from the two.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
Pass complete. Graham. 7 yards the pick up there.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
He'll look to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. Only able to gain a couple there. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. They should have gotten more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Robinson's got it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he's brought down. Haven't heard much from him all night, but welcome to the party, making his presence felt in a big way.
They've kept him under wraps all night long, but boy, did he find a great time to bust out.
They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So right back to square one. Tied at 28 as he kicks it away.
Taken at the 15, a short kick.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now Jones. He's going to go up top again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Barkley. Oh, able to avoid him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only one period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they...
Oh, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. If you throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Cohen gets it again on second. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. So we'll take a break with them and be right back. On 3rd down, it's Cohen. Oh, Cohen lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Barton, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here. It almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. third down. Barkley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force fourth down after that 7-yard pickup back on first. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on fourth down. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. Here's Riley Dixon now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let a team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive and just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickel and dime down the field.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up third down and 11.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Now it's Fields.
And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. A little too amped up there, got to him before he had a chance to catch it.
Another example of players in tough spots getting the protection that they deserve. Got to make sure that he's able to catch the ball before you get to him.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Again, it's Barkley. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On third down, Barkley. And some room to roam now.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, they gave themselves options there on the third down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. That's on Kelechi Osemele, the guard. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
To throw is Jones.
He'll buy some time right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. And a timeout now here in overtime with 4 seconds remaining. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. And a timeout now here in overtime with 4 seconds remaining. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. And this has no chance. It's no good. Well wide to the left. So possible disaster there. It's an empty possession, and there's no worse time to have an empty possession than the first drive of overtime.
Yeah, and remember the situation now, Brandon. It's sudden death from here on out. You can bet he's begging for a chance to redeem himself. But the question now is, will that chance ever come?
Oh, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 1 overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go to Barkley again. And down he'll go at the 25.
137 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Now Jones. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And, partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
A handoff to Barkley. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And then the yardage of game there is really kind of gravy. And this just becomes what my old coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, breaking, playmaking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Throwing Jones. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on third down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected fourth down here.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. And he tugged this one badly. It's no good. Wide left. And we will play on here in overtime. And boy, this is typically certainly one of the better kickers in the game. We're not used to seeing him miss 3 times from field goal range.
No, we certainly aren't. It is very out of character. He's probably had seasons where he's missed 3 field goals. Just goes to show you, no one's immune.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Swings this out here for Cohen.
And shutting him off, now open field. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Here's a handoff to Cohen running right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They try again with Cohen. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Off play action, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 30.
Back to throw, Fields.
Man open is Robinson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call, but when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back.
Second and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring.
They'll keep it on the ground. Cohen. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed done, but put this one in the win column. Their season ends here. A tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it. And so now, how negative do you look at that? They got there, had an opportunity, and for some teams, they have to lose games like this before they learn how to win them in later seasons.